I recently saw a report stating that Goldberg has one match left on his contract, and for whatever reason, that really got me thinking about some legends in the business and about retirement matches for them. I was thinking about some wrestlers like The Undertaker, who had the perfect final match in the WWE, and I also thought about some others like Kurt Angle, who had that terrible retirement match against Baron Corbin at WrestleMania 35. And this got me thinking about a bunch of former superstars that I've come up with 10 perfect retirement matches that need to happen in the future. I think if these were to happen, it would be perfect for the fans, but more importantly, they are great send-offs for those wrestlers on this list. And with that being said, let's get right onto the list with number 10, Goldberg versus Bron Breakker. Speaking of Goldberg, we're going to start off with him since he's probably going to hang up the boots in a couple of years. Bron Breakker is the perfect opponent for him. Back in the WCW days, Goldberg was in an intense feud with his uncle, and this would be a great full circle type of story. This match would also be the perfect way to make Breakker a superstar on the main roster. The crowd would be on his side because they've hated Goldberg for such a long time, and Braun beating Goldberg with his career on the line would be enough to make him one of the biggest babyfaces in the company immediately. Breakker is also going to be the WWE's next dominant wrestler, and it's only fitting if he gets rid of the last generation's powerhouse. This match makes too much sense to not happen. Number 9, KANE versus KROSS. Before WWE released him, I thought that The Fiend versus KANE would have been the perfect retirement match for Glenn Jacobs. Unfortunately, that isn't possible anymore because WWE made the terrible mistake of letting go of one of the smartest minds in all of professional wrestling. He will most likely join AEW, and then I was thinking maybe KANE could pop up in AEW, but he wouldn't be able to use his character, and that is just whack. Instead, I think KROSS is a good name to give KANE his final match. He has a pretty similar gimmick and character, and the WWE needs to just add Scarlett into his act and treat him the same way that he was treated in NXT, and there you go. You have the perfect last rival for KANE. This would also be a huge victory for KROSS, who would desperately need that win. Number 8, LITA versus BAYLEY. Lita's official last match in the WWE was in 2018 when she was a part of some random 10-woman tag team match on Raw. That obviously cannot be her last match ever. The only proper retirement match for her is against BAYLEY. For those who don't know, it was actually Lita that inspired BAYLEY to become a WWE wrestler. In fact, she has openly stated that she is the one that made her realize that this was her dream. BAYLEY has also been asking to wrestle Lita in a match for many years now. It's her dream opponent. I say make it happen once BAYLEY fully recovers from her surgery. Lita vs. BAYLEY has money written all over it, and it's a match that can draw a good crowd. It's about two greats from two totally different generations clashing for bragging rights, and you also have the component of Lita being BAYLEY's hero before. Number 7, Kurt Angle versus Gable Stevenson. As mentioned earlier, Kurt Angle's final match in the WWE was against Baron Corbin, and that cannot happen. The WWE must bring him back for at least one match only, and many would probably love to see him wrestle John Cena in his real retirement match, and as much as I would love to see that, it's about creating a generation of future superstars. John Cena wouldn't really need this victory. He's probably really busy with his schedule as well. Instead, Gable Stevenson would be an even better opponent for him. Kurt Angle can have a fantastic match with the young and up-and-coming bright star. They're also literally the two wrestlers that have gold medals from the Olympics. I think it's only right if this happens. Kurt Angle can then retire knowing that he helped create two stars for the WWE, John Cena and Gable Stevenson. Number 6, Rey Mysterio versus Dominik Mysterio. Rey Mysterio is a bona fide legend in the business. He will forever be remembered. Mysterio is a part of some of the greatest moments in WWE and WCW history. The fact that this man is still wrestling at his current age is impressive. And what's even crazier is considering that he's still got it and he hasn't missed a step. If anything, this Rey Mysterio might actually be better than his younger self. and that makes absolutely no sense. But he's the most fluid 46-year-old wrestler I've ever seen. With all of that being said, he's probably still got a few more years left in the tank, because honestly, Rey Mysterio could use a break and retire and enjoy life. And his final match would have to be against his son, Dominik Mysterio. That would be such an honorable way to go out. This doesn't even need a babyface versus heel feud. It's just a story about a son and his father sharing the ring once together, going head to head. It would be a beautiful match. Number 5, Trish Stratus versus Sasha Banks. I know that Trish Stratus wrestled her last match at SummerSlam in 2019 in Canada against Charlotte Flair. And yes, I also know that it was a really good match. But the WWE chose the wrong horsewoman to wrestle Trish Stratus. Sasha Banks needs to have that one match against Trish. It's been a dream match ever since the two had that encounter at the Royal Rumble in 2018, and it should definitely happen. I'd be a lot happier if I saw this match happen. Sasha Banks has even been talking about this potential match, and she really wants Stratus to come out of retirement for one more match, and I agree with her. Number 4, Edge versus Christian. Edge and Christian are the same age, and they probably both have another year or two left in professional wrestling. Both of their stories of coming back to wrestling has been truly inspiring. It's been a blast watching these two guys have great matches with the youth of today. However, they're going to need to have an official retirement match in the future, and it's probably going to happen a lot sooner than later. And the only right match for both of them is a singles match between the best friends themselves. Edge and Christian have been through it all. They've been partners, they've been rivals, and most important of all, they have basically been brothers at this point. I think they need a proper WrestleMania match with Christian getting a victory over Edge to end their career, and they can then pose and have one final hug for 5 seconds. Number 3, Triple H versus Finn Balor. Triple H was last seen in a WWE ring in the beginning of this year when he had his match with Randy Orton. The fight quickly ended when Alexa Bliss shot a fireball into Randy Orton's face. Yes, it was a very weird time to be a wrestling fan during the pandemic era. Anyways, we all know that Triple H is too iconic to have that be his final match. He needs a proper send-off, and I think Finn Balor would be the perfect guy to do the job. Looking back at NXT, Finn Balor was his favorite signing. He was literally his baby. Balor even had 2 NXT championship reigns because that is how much Hunter loves him. It would be fitting if Triple H's last match would be against his favorite students. I'd want to see this more than Triple H versus AJ Styles, which is what a lot of people want to see. Number 2, Shawn Michaels versus AJ Styles. Instead of AJ Styles facing Triple H, he should have a match with Shawn Michaels. I know that HBK has said that he does not want to have another match after that disaster against the Brothers of Destruction, but I feel like that match really damaged his legacy. He went from having one of the best retirement matches ever to that mess. He must have one more match, and if there's one person that can ensure that it's going to be amazing, it is AJ Styles. Who knows, this could be even better than the WrestleMania 26 match against The Undertaker. That's why it should happen. And number 1, The Rock versus Roman Reigns. The Rock has secretly retired from professional wrestling this year, which means that his last match ever was against Eric Rowan. No disrespect to Rowan, but that needs to change. The Rock needs to come back and have one final match against Roman Reigns, Hollywood's biggest star, going head to head with the WWE's current biggest star. This is a money-making dream match that would be the perfect final match for The Rock. Anyways, that is it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. Let me know your thoughts on these retirement matches in the comments below. Which ones do you want to see, and do you have anything else in mind? On the screen right now are some other videos that you should totally check out, so go ahead and click one of them. I will see you all in the next video.